my first year of using a saddle for all my whitetail hunts, and I loved it. It's super versatile. You can get into just about any tree, but the only downside is if you have to do an all-day sit, it's pretty tough. You can't sit down. You can do the knees on the tree thing, but it's just not quite the same as sitting in a normal stand. So when I saw the new Novix Raider Hybrid stand come out, it got me excited, and I picked one up on the pre-order and got it out in the field this past weekend for the first time. And man, it's a pretty cool stand. So I'm going to just kind of go over a little bit of what I thought about it and how useful I think it is. Stay tuned. Now I'd like to preface this video by saying that I'm no way, shape, or form sponsored or getting paid by Novix. I paid full price for this stand. I paid full price for all the stuff that I have from them. So not sponsored, not an ad, just my opinion of this tree stand and how it worked for me. So let's talk a little bit about what the stand actually is. First off, it is essentially a hang-on stand with a platform and with a little tiny seat. The way that it works for saddle hunting is the cables that hold the platform to the vertical post are in the middle rather than on the sides. So you can move around the platform really easily, and you also have that seat that folds down. Now I'd like to kind of equate that seat to like a chair on a bass boat. Now you can use that seat in a few different ways. You can sit down on it facing the tree, which is okay, it's not the best. You can turn around and run your bridge up over your shoulder and put your back against the tree. That's a little bit nicer as far as comfort goes, but it's a little tougher because you have to loosen up your bridge to, if you had to stand up super quick and turn around, you'd be leaning really far away from the tree with the length that your bridge needs to be. Now I'm sure you can adjust your tree tether to get it to where you don't need to do that, but generally I run mine pretty much at eye level, and I think that's a fairly standard way to run it. So needing to lengthen that tether and the bridge to be able to get it over your shoulder was a little bit of an inconvenience. And then the third way that I actually liked the most, and I used it primarily the entire time, was you kind of kneel against the seat. Now the seat is round, it's got foam all the way around it, and it's super comfortable. It keeps you standing up pretty dang vertically, so if you do have to move in a hurry, you can. Then of course the seat can fold up completely, and you can kind of use it as a standard saddle setup with your knees against the tree. Now with that vertical post sitting up right where your knees normally would go, it's not quite as comfortable. You kind of got to work around that. But overall, super versatile platform, and it's got a place. So like if you plan on doing a hanging hunt and sitting all day, this is the stand to take with you. If you're going to use this for day-to-day hunting, I don't know that it's necessarily the best. So it's a little over 8 pounds, so it's a lot heavier than a normal saddle platform. It's also a little bit more cumbersome to get in the tree. You got 2 straps to put on. I found that if you leave the upper strap on and put the lower strap in your saddle pouch, that's the easiest way rather than needing to wrangle 2 straps to get into the tree. So you're tightening your upper strap, you're pushing those teeth down so it bites into the tree. Now they say that you're not supposed to cam over the bottom. In order to get it to bite like I wanted to, you needed to cam it over a little bit. So you put that bottom strap on, tighten it down to basically where you can get that platform about 3/4 of the way open, and then you kind of cam it over just a little bit. But the tree that I was in was not the straightest tree, and in order to get it to bite when I was applying some side pressure to it, I needed to cam it over just a tiny bit. Overall, it's a huge platform. Like, you can stand up on this platform without leaning against your tether. You can move all around the entire thing. Like, as far as usability of the platform size, it's awesome, especially with that seat folded up. Now with the seats folded down, it basically becomes about the same size as a normal saddle platform. but at the end of the day, the ability to sit down or rest your knees on it, in the case that I found, it was pretty badass. Like it's a lot more comfortable, and being able to be comfortable when you're trying to sit all day is super important. Otherwise you make the excuse to go get food, to go warm up, to go use the bathroom, go get more water, whatever. You know, you're always going to try to invent excuses if you're having a bad time. So being comfortable and being able to sit there all day long, especially at this time of year that we're getting into, the rut, is important. You know, you'll have deer cruise in the middle of the day. Being out there is the way that you kill those deer. So that's the Novix Raider Hybrid Stand. That's my opinion of it. That's how I intend to use it, is for kind of situations where I know I'm going to be sitting all day. Otherwise, I'll stick to my smaller, lighter platforms. But it's definitely got a place. It's not extremely heavy for what it is. And I think for the application that they intended it, they nailed it. It's an awesome stand. It's super solid. Once you get it in the tree, it's not going to move on you. And packing it in is also not that hard. It's got a cool little spot on the top of the seat where you can put your sticks. If you've got Novix sticks, they strap right into a little channel on the seat when it's folded up for storage, so you can keep it all together. And overall, it's a really cool stand. Check it out.